Hello and welcome to my shop. Today we're going to talk about a cabinet for the workshop. A cabinet to put sanding discs because I bought a new 6-inch sander and I need to put the sanding disc somewhere. So that's what we're going to do together today. What I'm going to start doing is pick up a board from my stack there, and I need at least a board that is more than 6¼ inches wide, so I can use for my cabinet. I'm gonna need 2 boards. I'm gonna apply some paste wax on the tables of a planer here to make it easier. And I'm lowering the table to make it easier on me because I got fat hands. Wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. And same on the other side. Wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. And I'm sure you know what it is. It is Johnson paste wax, and I heard this is discontinued. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but that's what I heard. Any paste wax would do, obviously. And I leave the towel in there, because I'm going to reuse it later. And I'm going to fire up a 3-phase with dust collection. And then the planer, and then start planing all the way to 3/4 inch. Feels good when the noise is stopping. Now it's time for the miter saw. So I rough cut all the boards. You see any crack here? Cracked. So I'm checking the side, and I don't see any cracks in there. So since it's just a short piece, I'm gonna decide just to keep going. Mark my boards for a rough cut, and then I'm gonna cut all the boards to rough size. Now it's time to go to the joiner. I'm going to square up an edge. And then I'm going to go to a table saw to rip it to 6¼ inches. I really need to do something with this dust bin there. I need to put a pressure relief valve or something. See how it collapses? Then I'm gonna cut all the pieces to final length, and I cut the boards 2 by 2 to make sure they're exactly the same size. I didn't cut on my line exactly, so I'm pushing against the blade to flex it a little bit to gain a 1/16 of an inch. Now I'm gonna make a small template. It's gonna be 5 by 6 1/4. This way it will be easier for me to trace where the shelves are gonna go, and it will be repeatable that way. And then because I'm a dummy, I'm going back and forth between the table saw and the tape measure. And obviously I cut and not to the right thing, so I need to walk back and forth instead of taking the tape measure with me, dummy. Then I need to make sure I'm gonna cut the shelves to the right depth. So I'm using my scrap piece, my template here to make sure I get to the right depth. And then I start cutting the rabbit on the top and bottom board. And every time I flip the board over to make sure my cuts are symmetrical on both sides. And I'm gonna do that for pretty much all the boards. I'm checking to see if my scrap piece fits into the groove, the dado, and obviously it doesn't, so I have to fine tune my stop block until it fits, and then I'll be able to cut on the other side just the same thing. Let me try again. Now it fits, it's a snug fit, that's great. Then I'm tracing using my template where my shelves are gonna go. And for the shelves, in order to mark, I use 3/8 bright point bit, which is the thickness of the shelves I'm gonna use. And I repeat over and over and over again for all the shelves. I'm not gonna bore you with all of that. I'm gonna go straight to the end. And then I'm cutting all the shelf slots. Then I'm adjusting the fence to be able to cut a rabbit on all the boards around the perimeter to accept the back I'm gonna cut later. And I end up with all my pieces here, and I'm making a dry assembly to make sure everything fits before gluing. And I'm gonna need some persuasion with a mallet. But overall, it looks as expected. I'm using clamps to hold the pieces together. I don't really need them, but it's to make sure nothing moves on me. And I'm putting the shelves in, which I cut previously. I didn't film this, but it's just a couple squares. And that looks pretty good, but now I have to remove everything again. And one is stuck. Well, not really, but anyways, I need to take everything off again so I can start gluing. So I put some glue on in all the grooves. Spread with my finger, use a sharp rag to clean my fingers if needed. And then I'm gonna use a nailer to put some red nails in there so it doesn't move on me. And eventually I'll still use some clamps. Because to be honest, I don't like red nails. I don't even know why I use red nails to. It's just to avoid clamps when I glue stuff together. At the end of the day, I still put some clamps on. And I need to use a bigger one here because with the glue it doesn't want to go in. That's why you do a dry fit at the beginning, right? But sometimes the wood changes its mind. So I have to use a clamp. And then I put more clamps just to make sure. Still want to put my shells in case there's some wood movement when the glue dries. And then I leave it overnight. Well, the next day I come back and take out all the clamps and see what it looks like. Then I start working on the back. So I was thinking about putting a 3/8 plywood board, but I ran out. So I took something I had laying around, which is a thinner, but it would do. I mean, I don't really care. So I'm putting this sheet of plywood where it's supposed to go and trace the right dimensions for me to cut. And then I'll use a square to mark the perimeter. Since I'm lazy and I have one, I will be using my track saw, which I just bought not too long ago, to rip this board. And this thing works pretty good. I'm really happy with it. But obviously, if you don't have a track saw, a circle would work, or any kind of saw really. And then fit the board in the back and it fits like a glove. Now all I need to do is put some glue around the perimeter on the back of the middle boards. I'm using my fingers, as you can see. It doesn't really matter if I don't have glue everywhere on the sides and stuff. I'm gonna put nails in there anyways, and it's a short piece, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna sink some nails in there around the edges, and then a couple of them also behind the boards on the middle. And obviously, putting the nails in the middle, I took some time and traced from front to the top and bottom, and then to the back to make sure my nails are gonna go at the right place. And that's it's pretty much done. All I need to do now is make it look a bit nicer. Still a sharp piece, but anyway, you need. I mean, I want it to look decent. I'm sanding a little bit to remove all the glue marks, and for this, I'm just using 120 grit. It goes fairly quick because cedar is very soft. And something I forgot to mention or show you before because my camera died. I put on the back the pieces I need for French cleat wall. So I put one piece at the bottom and one piece with a 45-degree angle at the top to go on the wall. And I also give a small sand to the shelves just to make sure I remove all the splinters. So very quickly on each side and each faces, I should say. And use the best plug for demanding sanding from Next Level Carpentry again, just to remove the sharp edges on the front side. And there it is in its final location, already having sanding discs in it, 6-inch, and it's gonna do me well. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.